I'm Mike Marzetta from Mind's Eye. One of my life's goals is to never grow up, never have to grow up. What could be worse? My wife, Christy, and I had kind of two fundamental values that kind of led to Mind's Eye's creation. We wanted to make the difference in lives of kids, and we wanted to have fun doing it. Mind's Eye Robotics is a high-quality, hands-on STEM education experience. We try to give the teacher a nice high-tech set of tools. We teach the teachers how to implement the curriculum in the lab, and 90% of it is them building, programming, formatting, designing, inventing. We want Mind's Eye to be cooler than Xbox. We want the kids to go there and come home from school every day and go, wow, I did the coolest thing today, and not necessarily know that they've learned all this stuff. Kids are very passionate about it. You can see that they're having fun, they're excited, they're energetic, they're in the zone. I hear a lot of it. How do I get my kids to do homework? Well, you make it fun, and they come in before class starts, and they stay late, and they're not thinking the extra credit. They're thinking, I'm having too much fun, and I can't put this dang project down. It's college level stuff that they're learning. Change and learning are synonymous, and if you don't change, you get left behind. You got new companies emerging using new technologies and have a high demand for high skilled labor. They're good paying jobs. It'd be great to just hire some local folk to fill those. I think that we've got that kind of potential here in Spokane. We're graduating some great kids. When STCU supports learning, they're supporting our future. So many other organizations out there are so bottom line profit focused. I think they lose focus on what's important. I see STCU helping the greater community outside of it to get better, to learn, to grow, and to progress. We're here to do good. We're here to help the greater good. We're very proud to be able to partner with STCU to that end. I think what's a better place to help the greater good than with helping kids? I'm Mike Marzetta, and STCU is here for good.
Welcome to Let's Talk Spokane, where host Ryan McNeese seeks out and discusses the latest on a variety of hot local topics. Now, here's your host, Ryan McNeese.
Welcome to Let's Talk Spokane. I'm Ryan McNeese, and we're here with the cast, director, and board member of Willy Wonka that's going to be opening on the 13th this month. Thank you guys for being here. Let's introduce each of you. We've got Luke, we got Hudson, Kylan, Vicky, board member at Theater Arts for Children, and Jenna Solberg, director of Willy Wonka. Thank you guys for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Let's start by talking about the process that you guys go through. Again, it's going to open on the 13th, but what role are you playing, Luke?
Charlie.
Okay, so how do you prepare for that role, and how long have you been preparing or rehearsing for this?
I've been preparing for, I think since early September now. Well, yeah, what I do is usually it's just repetition. Like when you think of a scene, you get your lines, you repeating them until you can start it off of anything.
It becomes second nature.
Yeah, it becomes second nature.
Have you done quite a bit of theater before?
I'd like to think that I have, but but there are many people that probably out-experience me, like Hudson, I think.
And how old are you?
I'm 15.
Okay, so you're 15. So you've done theater, though. And
Yeah.
so it's not your first rodeo, so to
No,
speak.
no.
Okay. Hudson, what role are you playing?
I am Grandpa Joe.
Grandpa Joe. Okay. And for yourself, in terms of the rehearsal process, do you feel like a longer or shorter rehearsal process works for you?
Probably a longer.
Yeah, to get your lines down, and in this
Yeah.
case, singing, which we're going to be singing here in a little bit.
Fun.
Not me, thank goodness. and Kylan, your role.
Yes, that's why I'm playing Willy Wonka.
Okay, so you're the title role of Willy Wonka.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Jenna, how did you come to be directing this?
I was asked.
And when asked, you show up, right?
That's right.
And what is your background in theater, and how did you come to be interested in this?
I've been interested in theater since I was a little kid, and I really became more involved in theater when I started teaching at Cataldo, and they had an after-school drama program, actually run at the time by Kimberly Roberts, another well-known community theater director. And so she was the director for many years, and I was the music director. Sorry.
I can hear you a little bit better, but
And I learned a lot from her with directing and being part of the theater.
and I've always heard
all
that
aspects.
Cataldo has a great program.
Thank you. We
Yeah.
have a good time.
Well, it has a good reputation. And Vicki, maybe you can speak a little bit to, this is Theater Arts for Children, so the acronym is TAC. So tell us how you've been involved for quite a while, and as a board member, tell us about your involvement and what that entails as a board member.
Okay. I guess I started about 4 years ago, and I'm the secretary.
We'll have you lean in too.
And I'm
probably.
sorry, I am the secretary, and basically it's completely volunteer. There are no paid positions as far as the board members or running it goes, but we just run the whole thing. We have an artistic director that plans everything out, which is how we got Jenna, and
So the artistic director is in charge of finding particular directors
Yes.
for the respective
and
shows.
they plan all the shows, they find the shows, and script. It's really detailed as far as all they go through to get the shows, and then the board votes. And
So the board vote on, for instance, the artistic director says, hey, what about doing Willy Wonka this fall? And so that's brought to the board to
Yes.
decide on the logistics of that.
Yeah, and you look at like what ages it involves, and what your target audience is,
Mm-hmm.
and how well it'll be received. And musicals are more expensive and take longer. Just how all that plays into it. And so
A factor probably the buying of the rights to the particular show
yes,
too. So
'cause
Willy Wonka is a popular show.
Each show has royalties.
Okay.
Which before I started this, I didn't know that, because there's quite a lot of expense involved.
Well, I think that was my point, is it's a part of the puzzle in terms of managing a theater like this, in terms of fundraising and getting the word out. It has to be paid for to be able to put the shows on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and ticket sales don't, they might cover the show, but we also have, month-to-month
Right.
expenses like rent and
Yeah,
stuff like
capital
that. But-
expenses. And then you guys obviously putting in a significant amount of time in terms of rehearsal and preparing for this show. And I think, as Vicky's saying, you have folks showing up, hopefully in droves, to this show. High ticket sales.
Opening night sold out.
Yeah, opening night
Is it
sold
really?
out.
It is.
That's fantastic. And kind of a side note, but in terms of ticket sales, if I remember correctly, don't you guys have a real special front seat? Do you guys still have that?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Best seat in the house.
I've been enjoying it all week.
Yeah, well, as a director, you get to sit there.
Yes.
And, so how does that work? There's something where somebody either sponsors or gets that particular
Yeah,
seat.
you can purchase it for more. It seats up to 4 adults or a mixture
to
of
6
adults and
kids,
kids.
yeah.
Yeah. And they get free concessions, and it's the best seat. And it's comfy.
Well, it's whimsical. It's fun.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
a neat
And it's
little
really
twist.
nice when you have your kids in the show.
Yeah.
And
You can be right
grandma,
there.
grandpa, and everybody wants to
Be
come
right
see
there
it,
to
so.
support them.
Well, and with this show, you've said you've been rehearsing since September.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you guys are going to be ready for the 13th, Friday the 13th?
Ready or
Yeah,
not.
sure.
Isn't
Willy
that
Wonka's a technical show.
Isn't that
It is.
about-
It is.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
I mean, even yesterday we had to go over in the nut room. We had a little
Yeah.
difficulty
We had-
with.
in the net room? Okay.
Yeah, it was. It was the soundboard had good nut, bad nut.
Oh.
Whenever a nut was sorted
Yeah.
out, and so
Gotcha.
it just kept repeating good nut, bad nut. Good nut, bad nut, every other second, and it was really loud, so we're barely able to talk over it.
Do you guys always rehearse at the theater, or are there off-site locations that you rehearse as well?
I mean, in past shows there are some offsite
Yeah.
locations, but in this show,
But oftentimes you're on the stage there
Yeah.
at TAC.
yeah.
How about set design? Who's helping you out with the set design and/or construction this year?
Anyone who wants to waste their time.
No,
Not a waste of
Not a
time.
waste of time.
No.
at all.
Yeah, efficient use of
I
their
spent
time.
several
Yeah.
weekends working on that.
Well, I'd
It
imagine.
wasn't a waste of time.
Well, I'd imagine the skill level of needing the construction part of it, the painting part of it, to get the whole thing put
Well,
together.
and that's when I designed the set, but then everything else I need help because I'm not handy with tools or anything. So that's when I reach out to the parents, and the parents of the cast have been very helpful, and we had 3 dads that really helped. One of them was Wonka's dad.
Wonka.
Just
Good
help,
job.
building everything and bringing my vision to life.
Well, I've always been fascinated, I think, with the theater of the misconception that it only takes a few, whether it's the star or the director or what have you, but it's such a
It's a village,
collaborative
sure.
effort. The stage and what's going on behind in terms of what either is or isn't seen. the folks that are pulling curtains and different props going in and out and up and down on the stage. It's a yeah, exactly, fantastic process.
Managing all that back there.
Well, I think what most folks would want to see and hear is you guys sing quite a bit in this. Do we want to do a song right now?
Oh,
Yeah.
Let's
these
do
guys
it.
do.
I'll let you guys take over,
Yeah,
and if
thank
we're gonna sing, let's make sure your mics are fairly close to you. But Jenna, I'll let you maybe run the music and let you direct.
All
That's
right.
what you do.
So this is a song that happens in the fizzy lifting room of the Wonka factory, and this happens between Charlie and Grandpa Joe, and this is the flying song.
I get to laugh at you guys make mistakes.
Hey, I
You won't-
I
you'll do
promised
that.
I wouldn't jump in.
All right.
Yeah. As I'll ever be.
Well.
Wow. I'm flying.
I'm flying.
There's no sensation that's quite as sensational as flying.
Thrilling, fulfilling, and higher educational as flying.
It's inspirational.
And recreational
Trying. Way, way up there in midair to be touching the sky.
Which I guess is why there is no feeling that's quite like the feeling of flying.
Bumping your head on the ceiling of what's up above. It's so appealing, I'm reeling if my death defying. Flying, I love. There is no high that's as high as the high I am trying. Flying,
What's that sound?
I don't know, but we better start floating down.
Look up, Charlie. It's a fan. It's sucking us up. Try to float down.
I can't.
Try, Charlie. Try.
I can't.
It's gonna cut us to bits.
Think positive.
I can't.
Think. Burping is the answer. This is fun. Oh, how I love to burp.
People burp from Atlanta to Antwerp.
From John Wayne to White Earp.
Just as birds love to chirp.
Every guy likes to be URP. Happy birthday to me.
Good job, you
It's a very
guys.
silly song.
Yep, it's supposed to be.
You know why? You know what though? That's exactly why people want to come. It's fun. It's a nice diversion from their normal week. You guys are gonna do fantastic. That's great. Let's take a short little break and come right back with these guys from Willy Wonka.
Hi, this is Kurt Stockwell with Well Dressed Walrus. We are a local website design and development company here in Spokane. What we do is build beautiful, usable websites for local businesses. A website needs to be beautiful, it needs to be usable for your users, your customers, and yourself. Contact us anytime. We'd love to talk with you about your online marketing.
The economy is getting stronger. Banks are lending again, and interest rates are at historic lows. Now is a great time to buy your dream home. The caring and knowledgeable professionals at Homes for You have been helping people just like you for over 20 years. They take the time to listen to what you want and will help you find just the right home in Washington or Idaho. Real estate is what we do at Homes for You, 928-5782, or visit online at homes4uspokane.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Spokane. We're here with the cast and essentially the crew, board member, and director of Willy Wonka. It's going to be opening at the TAC Theater, Theater Arts for Children, on the 13th, Friday the 13th. Thank you, guys. Right before the break, you guys just sang a great song. There's no doubt about it. What's fun to watch in your faces is you're living the moment. Do you feel like that's where you need to be to do well in this play. Is you got to literally feel like you are the character in that moment.
Yeah, being in character not only is going to help everyone, it's not going to just help you out, it's going to help the audience out. Like, they're going to be like, oh, so they're not just an actor, they're playing the character. They are the character. It's not just an actor playing Charlie. It is Charlie.
Including the burps.
Yes.
You got that down.
Yeah.
No, but I think you're right. In rehearsal, is that true too, that sometimes folks show up, so to speak, and sometimes they don't, that either helps or distracts from you learning your lines, that everybody's got to be there and present that night?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it definitely, I mean, if somebody's not focused and they're just laughing and kind of, I mean, we do that sometimes. We have times where we just can't keep a straight face. But
Something happens.
Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely a group effort. It takes everybody working together to really make the scene good. You know, I mean, even one person can make or break the scene. You know,
one person.
Yeah, isn't that what they say though about live theater? That's kind of the vibe or the adrenaline that really draws you to it. Is you don't know what's going to happen that particular night, and then how you react to it is probably part of that adrenaline.
Yeah. I mean, there's a train that goes through a lot.
Because of the location.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
the location,
we're
we're
right next to the
like right next to the
tracks.
train tracks. So, of course, I mean, how are we going to deal with that if we're all being sad?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
oh,
you can
it's
play that off
that-
in Willy Wonka. I'm sure there were trains
that
going by
darn
occasionally.
train again.
Many times.
You just stop
Train
and listen
about-
to it go by.
What respective schools do you guys go to?
Oh, I go to Cheney High School. Go Blackhawks.
All right, Sheeny,
I go to University High School. Go Titans.
go Titans. I'm all for
and I'm
that.
homeschooled. Go me.
But that does give you probably some flexibility, in all seriousness, with your schedule to maybe meet different rehearsal times where you're not confined necessarily to a school schedule. So that probably helps a bit.
Yeah, definitely.
And did any of you know each other before this particular show?
I knew
Yeah,
him.
me and Hudson, actually. Hudson and I should
I
say.
think we were in yeah.
We were in
In
The
Hobbit,
Hobbit together.
yeah, Hobbit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and has this been a different experience than doing The Hobbit?
Well, Hobbit wasn't a musical, so I didn't have to deal with that.
So the whole singing thing.
Yeah, the whole singing thing, I mean, it isn't new, but, I mean, it's been a while since I've done a musical on stage. So
What do you
that's fun.
prefer?
I honestly just prefer, it could be a musical, it could be not a musical, just anything that's funny. I just like to make people laugh, really.
Yeah.
What do you guys individually feel before you go on stage? I'm sure you have different experiences, but how do each of you feel? Is there a sense of nervousness, adrenaline, combination?
I mean, there's always
Yeah.
going to be nervousness, especially
On.
with a bunch of people in the house. It's very.
How do you deal with that? If you are nervous, is there some self-talk as to preparing yourself to walk out there when the curtain opens?
I just take deep breaths.
Yeah. Typically, what I've found is I work. Yeah, I can talk.
That's part of the process, right?
I work really hard
Yeah.
in rehearsal and at home to memorize my lines and get my character figured out and all that. And so I know that I can do it well. So knowing that I can do it well, the main fear, I think the main nervousness is the fear of messing up. But I know that I can do it well, and I know that the thing that will cause me to mess up the most is to be nervous.
Yeah.
Or is to be unhealthily nervous. There's a healthy nervousness that brings the energy up.
That's right.
And helps you to
Makes you attentive.
to make an even better show than otherwise, because you don't want to be comfortable with your show because it's that you can get relaxed and you can slip up. But yeah, I typically just prepare really hard, work really hard, and then when the time comes, it's not, there's that healthy nervousness again, but it's not.
But Kylan, I
It's
think you're
good.
right. It's that cliche that we all hear from our teachers, and they're right, growing up, that preparation is everything. It does take your nervousness away because you're not having to worry about those issues of, I don't know if I know that line or what have you. Like, no, I know that line. It's maybe something else that might happen, but you can deal with it.
Yep.
Sometimes, actually, it's like the behavior of the audience on the night too, because like you could be, you
The
could like,
interaction.
yeah, you could
Yeah.
have the jokes of the opening scene either go over really well,
Or,
which puts everyone into an energy, or it could just fall flat and it's just like, oh,
You're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, this is how it's going to be.
yeah.
All night.
Because whenever I get that, I feel like, oh, this audience is here to criticize rather than just have fun.
But that's interesting to me that there is that perception going on, that you starting off that first act or first scene, that you're already making assumptions of whether they're going to be critical or whether they're going to buy in. It's interesting. And probably different. Folks will say, well, film, in terms of movies, television, etc., different experience than what you guys are doing, which I give you all the credit in the world. It takes a lot of gumption for you guys to get up there on stage. It's really impressive. It is. Hey, I can tell you, I don't know what the statistics are, but there's got to be a lot of folks that just wouldn't even think about doing it because they're afraid to fail, and yet you guys are doing it over and over and over and successfully putting on great shows.
Well, the thing is, if you do fail, you gotta fail in flames. You gotta make it look like you gotta make it
Own
fail.
it.
Own it
Yeah.
so
Back in.
much that it just makes the audience forget that it was a fail and they're on the floor laughing.
Well, you know what, though? But that's a great attitude. And you've probably learned that because of your experience with theater.
Yep.
Yeah.
I learned that the hard way, definitely.
Good for you. Well, there's that famous line by Seth Godin that safe is risky, and you guys are kind of defining it. You could play it safe and not even get on stage, but that'd be risky because then you wouldn't have the experience that you guys are getting or the growth that you guys are learning. And Hudson, you've been involved in a lot of university high school drama as well.
Yes.
So a lot of theater experience. What about you, Kylan, in terms of background in theater?
So I actually hadn't done theater hardly at all until about a year ago. And then I started out with
Good for you.
CYT in North Idaho.
Another
and
good
just
organization.
Kind of did crew, did a couple shows with them, and then I did a show at Liberty Lake Theater where I live, and so it was my first time really having any kind of a major part at all, and I was actually the lead role. And it was the first time I really had lines, so it was a lot of,
that was
it
the
a lot of fun.
gusto.
It was stressful, but it was a lot of fun, and discovered I really liked it. So yeah, then I saw that they were doing Willy Wonka here, so I really like Willy Wonka, so I thought I'd do that.
You showed up and you gave it a go.
Yeah, it is good.
Can we do another song? I think we have time for another
Yes.
song. Let's
Kylan, can
do
we do
another
another
song.
song?
You guys
It's
choose.
gonna be, Wonka, I think, this time.
You got this. I believe in you.
God, somebody does. I believe in me.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so this is our Pure Imagination,
All right.
which is what Wonka is all about.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in a world of my creation. What we'll see will defy explanation. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Wanna change the world, there's nothing to it. There is no place I know to compare with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be. I am Willy Wonka, the greatest candy maker of all time.
Very good. Very good. That's Kylan as
Willy Wonka.
Willy
The
Wonka.
greatest candy maker of all time.
Yeah.
You guys are
Very humbled about it too.
well.
The humblest candy
First of
maker
all, you
all
guys have
time.
done a great job, but you have to have a certain amount of self-assurance to do this, right?
Yeah.
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 Definitely.
Even though you probably at times, whether it be start a rehearsal, mid, or right before the opening show, you probably have some doubts, like, are we going to be good enough? Do we know our lines? But as you said, Charlie, that you actually have to just go do it.
Yeah.
You have to own it. Yeah.
So you ready?
Sure.
You think you're going to do it? It's this Friday.
This
Friday, yes.
This Friday the 13th.
Yes.
October 13th. And so TAC Theater what is the best way for folks, our listeners, to go get tickets? What's the best way to not only find you?
Eventbrite?
Like
Yeah,
social media.
Yeah.
Okay, eventbrite.com. And the theater is located
Like
near a railroad track. We
Yeah,
know
near
that.
a railroad track.
It's,
right by the.
yeah, it's off the Pines exit there on the north side.
Yeah,
There's a-
Pines right at the interstate.
And how many
There's a 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
There's a 7-Eleven.
Well, I've always said with TAC Theater, you wouldn't know it when you're driving up to it in terms of, wow, is there a theater in here? And when you actually walk through the doors, it's a fantastic environment. It's so quaint, little boutique-like. Walk through that hallway and super cute theater. How many folks can sit in any given show?
Around 70.
About 70? That's actually more than I would have thought. That's really good. And how long have you been in that particular space?
About 5 years, I think.
5 years?
Yeah.
And before, was it more floating between different
Well, I
venues
think
or?
originally it was at the University City Mall.
Okay.
You know, it was there, and then it was at somewhere on Broadway. On Broadway.
On Broadway. that was just perfect. Somewhere on Broadway.
Yeah, I think it was a community center on Broadway. I'm not sure. But it was
Okay.
there and then here.
Well, looking forward, don't look too far past this show because you got how many shows is this going to be?
9.
There's
Nine.
9 shows, and do those run obviously starting Friday? But
9
then,
shows you're doing for Willy Wonka.
and then in
That's too much.
the future though, is it Thursday, Friday, Saturday for the shows, or is it?
Next week. It'll
Next
be
week.
Thursday, Friday, 2 on Saturday, and 1 on Sunday.
Okay, well, I definitely encourage folks to go check it out. It's a great little theater. Obviously, you can tell we got a lot of talent here. And what a great story. It's a great show.
We have a lot of fun little cute Oompa Loompas too.
Yeah.
Many.
That's fantastic, you guys. Thank you for being here. Everybody should go out and get tickets for
Yes.
Friday night's. Well, not
Yes.
Friday night
Everyone.
show because it's sold out.
Yeah, Friday.
But
show.
for the next show.
Friday is
Sorry.
sold out.
Sunday.
Thank you, guys. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you for having
Yeah.
us.
Thank you.
Let's Talk Spokane is produced in Spokane, Washington by SpokaneTalksOnline.com, which is solely responsible for its content. Ask us a question, recommend a guest, and hear this program again online anytime at SpokaneTalksOnline.com. Thanks for listening.
I'm Mike Marzetta from Mind's Eye. One of my life's goals is to never grow up, never have to grow up. What could be worse? My wife, Christy, and I had kind of 2 fundamental values that kind of led to Mind's Eye's creation. We wanted to make the difference in lives of kids, and we wanted to have fun doing it. Mind's Eye Robotics is a high-quality, hands-on STEM education experience. We try to give the teacher a nice high-tech set of tools. We teach the teachers how to implement the curriculum in the lab, and 90% of it is them building, programming, formatting, designing, inventing. We want Mind's Eye to be cooler than Xbox. We want the kids to go there and come home from school every day and go, wow, I did the coolest thing today, and not necessarily know that they've learned all this stuff. Kids are very passionate about it. You can see that they're having fun, they're excited, they're energetic, they're in the zone. I hear a lot of it. How do I get my kids to do homework? Well, you make it fun, and they come in before class starts, and they stay late, and they're not thinking the extra credit. They're thinking I'm having too much fun, and I can't put this dang project down. It's college level stuff that they're learning. Change and learning are synonymous, and if you don't change, you get left behind. You got new companies emerging using new technologies and have a high demand for high skilled labor. They're good paying jobs. It'd be great to just hire some local folk to fill those. I think that we've got that kind of potential here in Spokane. We're graduating some great kids. When STCU supports learning, they're supporting our future. So many other organizations out there are so bottom line profit focused. I think they lose focus on what's important. I see STCU helping the greater community outside of it to get better, to learn, to grow, and to progress. We're here to do good. We're here to help the greater good. We're very proud to be able to partner with STCU to that end. I think what's a better place to help the greater good than with helping kids? I'm Mike Marzetta, and STCU is here for good.